Maliabad Fort is situated in the Karnataka region of central India, a region rich with history and adorned with numerous historical sites. The fort, officially dated to the 13th century, is a sprawling megalithic complex that captures the imagination not just with its scale but also with its construction techniques. The structure is renowned for its towering walls that stretch for 5 kilometers, 3.5 miles, and rise to about 30 feet, almost 10 meters, dominating the landscape with an imposing presence. This site is not just a fort, it's an exhibition of exquisite craftsmanship, featuring life-size stone elephants carved from white granite and a significant Shiva temple, complete with a bull statue and a lingam made of black granite. However, there's something undeniably strange and compelling about Maliabad Fort that goes beyond conventional historical understanding. There are some distinctive features of its construction that suggest it may belong to a much earlier era, possibly predating known civilizations. This theory is anchored in several compelling architectural elements observed at the site. One of the most striking aspects of Maliabad Fort is its polygonal wall construction. These walls, made of cyclopean blocks similar to those found in ancient structures in Peru, such as those at Sacsayhuaman, suggest a level of stonework sophistication that is often attributed to advanced ancient civilizations. The precise fitting of such immense stone blocks, which lack any binding mortar, indicates not only a mastery of stonecraft, but also advanced knowledge of engineering and geometry. The polygonal blocks feature stones that are intricately cut to fit together so tightly that not even a blade of grass could slide between them. This method, known as cyclopean masonry, involves the use of enormous granite blocks, each irregularly shaped, yet somehow precisely sculpted to lock into its neighbors. Just observe the remarkable way the blocks fit with each other. It's looking like the interlockings of a puzzle pieces. The extensive use of granite in the construction of the walls is a superb feat. Granite, known for its hardness and durability, is one of the toughest materials available for construction, which makes the architectural achievements of the fort even more remarkable. The largest of the stones are up to 20 feet in length, approximately 6 meters, and assembled into just 5 layers of stone. The granite blocks used in the construction of the fort's walls are dressed with such precision that their smooth surfaces offer no handholds, thwarting any attempts to scale them. The seamless matching of the edges of these massive blocks remains a mystery to modern observers. Behind this visible layer of perfectly aligned granite lies another layer of stone, followed by packed rubble. This design is indicative of a sophisticated understanding of construction that prioritizes both durability and stability. The use of a rubble core, sandwiched between layers of meticulously cut granite, likely contributes to the fort's ability to withstand seismic activities, suggesting that these walls were built with not only immediate defense in mind, but also long-term resilience. The enduring solidity of the walls, capable of withstanding earthquakes for millennia, raises intriguing questions about the age of the fort. Without definitive historical records to pinpoint its exact time of construction, the age of Maliabad Fort is shrouded in mystery. The architectural sophistication evident in the walls implies that they could be much older than commonly documented, possibly predating the medieval period that mainstream historians attribute it to. This megalithic and possibly prehistoric structure is relatively unknown, even to the Indians living in the nearby area. The only reason we found about it was thanks to the Megalithomania channel, hosted by Hugh Newman. It was last year when Hugh Newman visited the site, traveling all the way to India and publishing a remarkable documentary exploring every aspect of the site. One notable discovery made by Hugh was that just like all other prehistoric megalithic stone walls around the world, the ones at Maliabad Fort also have these strange knobs on the surface of the blocks, similar to those found on other prehistoric structures like the massive walls in Peru, Egypt, China, and numerous other places. These similarities across continents hint at a possible interconnected prehistoric world, or perhaps even an advanced global civilization that built these structures everywhere they went. It's quite interesting to observe that around the megalithic walls, there are large portions of scattered ruins and destroyed structures. It makes you wonder how old the site actually is, and what kind of cataclysm destroyed and scattered these massive solid walls. But the gigantic megalithic walls of Maliabad Fort weren't the only impressive feature of this ancient site. Hugh Newman was equally captivated by the remarkable stonework within the nearby Shiva temple. The Shiva temple, hosting the sacred bull and the outstanding Shiva lingam, are two extremely precise and meticulously crafted artifacts made from polished black granite, a material known for its durability and intense hardness. The ability to polish black granite to a mirror-like finish and adorn it to perfection with such intricate details speaks volumes about the advanced technological insight of the temple builders. Hugh Newman's theory is that these artifacts survived for thousands of years, despite the poor condition of the temple itself. The reason he believed that was that in and around the temple, there are many reminiscences of the prehistoric stone blocks with precise machine marks on them, cut so precise they defy any modern historical narrative. The old stone blocks not only had these remarkable machine marks and cuts on them, but they also looked perfectly polished. The finely carved details and the symmetrical shapes on the stones indicated a sophisticated understanding of stonework, which challenged the notion that such structures could only have been created with basic, rudimentary methods and primitive tools. To explore Maliabad Fort and various other prehistoric megastructures further, check out the Megalithomania YouTube channel, or watch Hugh Newman's detailed video via the link in the description below. Considering everything we discussed so far, the question is, if this prehistoric megalithic wall, evidently built using advanced technology, is still standing today, why isn't this remarkable site regarded as definitive evidence of a sophisticated prehistoric civilization that has since vanished? Well, the thing is, the entire site is considered to be from the 13th century due to its documented use during that period. Yet, many believe that since a proper dating hasn't been conducted, parts of the site, precisely the polygonal megalithic walls, could be far, far more ancient, possibly prehistoric. This hypothesis is driven by the precision and sophistication of the stone masonry, which suggests capabilities that surpass those documented for the region during the more recent historical periods. The argument for a much older origin points to the advanced techniques used in shaping and assembling the massive granite blocks. Additionally, the scale of the construction, with walls stretching for kilometers and built with such exactitude, could hint at the presence of a highly organized and technologically advanced society long before any recorded history in the region. Moreover, the 13th century was a time of considerable conflict and consolidation in many parts of the world, including the region around Maliabad. Forts were often built and expanded upon using existing structures as a basis, which might explain why pre-existing walls and foundations could have been incorporated into newer constructions. This layering of historical phases makes it difficult to definitively assert that the entire structure dates back to the 13th century without more concrete archaeological evidence, such as carbon dating or other forms of material analysis, that could directly date the original construction phases of the walls themselves. The Maliabad fort was used under the expansive regime of the Delhi Sultanate, which dominated much of the Indian subcontinent from the 13th to the 16th century. While the massive walls of the fort could indeed predate the Sultanate, there is ample evidence suggesting significant use and possibly enhancements during their rule. Maliabad fort's primary function under the Delhi Sultanate was military. Positioned strategically, it likely served as a vital outpost on the periphery of the Sultanate's territories, monitoring and securing the borders against invasions, particularly from the Mongols, who were a constant threat during this period. The fort's formidable walls, some of which may have been erected or reconstructed by the Sultanate, were essential for defense, providing a sturdy barrier against attackers. While the original walls of the fort could be much older, the Sultanate might have undertaken significant reconstruction efforts to repair, reinforce, and possibly expand the existing structures to meet contemporary military needs. Beyond its military functions, Maliabad Fort also likely served as an administrative center. As the Delhi Sultanate was known for its structured approach to governance, the fort could have housed offices for local administrators who managed land records, tax collection, and law enforcement. This dual use would make the fort a hub of activity, centralizing control and disseminating the Sultanate's policies throughout the region. Moreover, given its strategic location, the fort might have played a role in trade. Positioned along potentially lucrative trade routes, it could have acted as a checkpoint for goods moving in and out of the Sultanate's territories, collecting duties and taxes, thus contributing to the state treasury. The presence of marketplaces within or near the fort's premises would not be unlikely, where traders and caravans could rest, resupply, and engage in commerce under the protection of the fort's walls. Culturally, the Delhi Sultanate left a significant mark on the regions it controlled, introducing Persian art, architecture, language, and customs. Within the confines of Maliabad Fort, the Sultanate might have constructed mosques and madrasas, promoting Islamic education and religious practices. The existence of the Shiva temple within the fort, however, also suggests a degree of religious tolerance and the integration of local Hindu practices within the predominantly Islamic framework of the Sultanate. In conclusion, the remarkable nature of Maliabad Fort, coupled with the sophisticated engineering evident in its construction, raises compelling questions about its origins, possibly stretching back to a prehistoric era. The seamless integration of massive stone blocks, polished surfaces, and precise architectural alignments seen at Maliabad Fort are characteristic of a highly advanced civilization, potentially predating the documented historical records of the region. While the fort's use during the reign of the Delhi Sultanate in the 13th century is well documented, the architectural and archaeological clues may hint at a much older foundation. The existing structures, possibly built upon or integrated with earlier constructions, could indeed belong to a bygone era that predates conventional historical accounts. Further archaeological exploration and advanced dating techniques may unveil more about the true age of Maliabad Fort. If proven to be prehistoric, the fort could significantly alter our understanding of the region's early history and the technological capabilities of its ancient peoples. It could establish the fort not just as a medieval military stronghold, but as a crucial archaeological link to a lost advanced civilization, whose ingenuity and cultural sophistication have withstood the test of time, encapsulated in the enduring legacy of its monumental architecture.